Not word one, it says 100%, well, 100% of one, 100% to who? I mean, that could be a lot of different things. What's the administrative costs? When's it going to start? When's it going to end? Just literally nothing.
They knew what they were doing, and they thought they...
Now, let's discuss what happens when you give someone a small amount of power. In this case, that someone is Tiffany Henyard, the self-declared super mayor of Dolton, Illinois. If you thought local politics couldn't get any more crazy or entertaining, then buckle up, because this story is an absolute roller coaster. Henyard is at the wheel, steering her vehicle straight into controversy after controversy, and she is well aware that when faced with millions of dollars in debt, the village decides to offer employee bonuses and a complete tax refund. Yes, you read correctly. Bonuses and refunds in a town that is barely able to pay its bills. It's almost as if she lives in a parallel universe where money just appears. What will happen next? She will probably give out designer handbags at the next board meeting, since that's about as realistic as these bonuses.
Appointment. That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next steps.
When she brought up the tax refund proposal, we couldn't help but laugh. Do you think the town can return all the taxes when the vendors haven't been paid in months, Tiffany? It's the kind of suggestion that makes you question if she's trying to destroy the process on purpose. Maybe she has a hidden money stashed somewhere that no one knows about, or perhaps she plans to sell off the village's office furnishings to make up the difference. With the way she's been managing things, who knows? The village, or if she's really that out of touch, but hey.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
Not only that, but how can you defend giving out bonuses when the town cannot even pay for necessities? It would be like throwing a party on the deck of the Titanic, where the village is drowning in debt. Of course, we should give everyone extra money for a job well done. But wait, what job is that? From where I stand, all that gets done is a lot of spending that no one can really explain. We wouldn't be shocked if the bonuses were in the form of IOUs, or even better, one shoe for each employee, because at this rate, that's all that Dolton can afford, which makes you wonder if Henyard is pulling a publicity stunt. For example, does she think that these proposals will make her appear kind or generous, since all they're doing is making her look like a completely uninformed or even more manipulative leader who makes promises to the world that she knows she can't keep and then turns around and blames the trustees for not approving her absurd ideas when the backlash hits? The inhabitants are left attempting to see through the haze in this classic case of smoke and mirrors.
But it saddens my heart that you are up here at...
But let's take a moment to go back in time and discuss one of the most recent astounding revelations. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is now looking into Henyard, who has been accused of wasting government funds in numerous ways. The trustees of Dolton hired Lightfoot as a special investigator to look into the financial mess Henyard has reportedly been making. Lightfoot may have believed she was done with public office after leaving the big city, but what she discovered has left the entire town, and most likely anyone paying attention, completely stunned during a public gathering that could only be characterized as explosive. When Lightfoot revealed the initial results of her inquiry, let us tell you that they were absolutely amazing. Let's take a moment to comprehend how dire Dolton's financial situation is. In April 22, the village's general fund balance was $561. By May 2024, however, that balance had fallen to a mere $3.5 million. That's a nearly $9 million swing in just 2 years. Where did all that money go? That's where things get really interesting.
The township residents are paying for her.
Interview 346/350. One of the most startling findings from Lightfoot's report concerned the spending habits of Henyard. It seems that village credit cards have been heavily used for transactions at stores like Amazon, Target, Walgreens, and even Wayfair. While I'm all for online shopping, when you're spending $43,000 on Amazon in one day, people start to wonder. That's exactly what happened on January 5, 2023, when 3 separate Amazon purchases were made on the village's card. One for $33.05, another for $4,700 F, and the third for $5,699 to all in one day, which is more than most people spend on their entire household in a year, let alone a few hours. Upon hearing these figures, Trustee Tiana Belcher, one of Henyard's most outspoken critics, didn't mince words. She called it a slap in the face to every villager. This is a town where many people are struggling to make ends meet, and their mayor is allegedly using tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on personal shopping sprees.
Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor and people's supervisor.
However, it goes beyond that. Additionally, the Lightfoot study revealed several highly dubious activities. For instance, 2 police officers allegedly received overtime pay that exceeded their base pay. One officer who made $87,319 a year somehow earned $11,800 in extra pay, while another who made $73,515 a year earned $10,277 in overtime. I'm not on payroll expert, but that seems a bit excessive, don't you think? And if you thought it couldn't get any worse, Henyard didn't even bother to show up for the meeting where all of this was disclosed. She has been busy changing the locks at Village Hall once more and surrounding herself with criminal defense lawyers, which isn't a favorable look, to say the least.
Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars.
But things start to even out here. Messier Henyard has been retaliating against her detractors in a way that has left many people perplexed. In a recent public meeting, she attacked the trustees of the sick village who have been questioning her spending, telling them, "You all forget I'm the leader they want to hear from the mayor." She continued by accusing her detractors of attacking her just because she is a black woman in high office, saying that you should all be ashamed of yourselves because you are all black and you are sitting up here beating and attacking a black woman in a position of authority now. Let's be clear, there is no denying that Henyard is a black woman in a position of authority. However, the problem is not with her gender or race, but rather with the fact that while she has been in charge, the village's finances have descended into chaos, and taxpayers are bearing the cost of her dubious spending practices. Some of her former allies are among those who are offended by her attempt to use the race card as a shield from criticism.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
The fact that Henyard has been accused of using public funds for personal luxuries while also accruing debt for upscale travel and fine dining is even more concerning. According to reports, township credit card records reveal that Henyard and her team spent over $67,000 on trips to cities like Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. These trips weren't exactly low budget. In Atlanta, they stayed at the Four Seasons, accruing a bill of over $9,000, and in New York, they stayed at the Marriott Mairs in Times Square, which totaled $13,000 for first-class flights, 5-star hotels, pricey meals, and more. Everything adds up, so it's understandable. People are wondering how the residents of Dothan are benefiting from this type of expenditure. And former ally Nikita Cloud, who was Henyard's chief of staff once, has even come out against her extravagant spending. "I don't think she's fit to be mayor. I think she wants to be a reality TV star," Cloud said, describing how Henyard would frequently invite her aide supporters and supporters to eat at fancy restaurants on taxpayer money. Cloud said that these dinners were more like social gatherings with little to no discussion of the problems facing the village.
Reporting on questionable spending by a South suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard, but we only knew half the story.
And to be honest, that's not a far-fetched one. Henyard's obsession with her public image is difficult to ignore. Billboards featuring her name and face are erected throughout Dothan to remind locals that she is the super mayor who is keeping her promises. However, many in the village believe that these billboards are just another instance of Henyard's ego getting in the way of genuine progress. One Dothan resident described it as like a dictator there is no call for. So, where does all of this leave Henyard? Well, aside from the ongoing investigation into her spending, things aren't looking excellent for her at the moment. Face an expanding array of lawsuits as well. As if that weren't enough, The FBI is reportedly supporting us in a federal investigation into her activities after the village trustees accused her of forging checks and withholding financial records. In addition, Henyard and her boyfriend are facing eviction from their Dolton home after allegedly failing to pay rent for several months. Their landlord, who has known Henyard for more than 20 years, claims she owes thousands of dollars in back rent and is concerned that the mayor's financial issues could cost her the house.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
There's a lot to process, and it's difficult to imagine how Henyard will survive this. But if we've learned anything from seeing her in action, it's that she's not going down without a fight. In fact, she's already preparing for re-election in spite of everything that's going on. Yes, you heard correctly. She has declared that she's running for a second term as mayor of Dolton, and even though her rivals are lining up to challenge her, Henyard appears confident that the electorate will support her. We'll give her another chance. The FBI investigation is still ongoing, and new revelations are coming out nearly every day. Henyard's tenure in office has become a never-ending scandal, and as more people come forward with allegations of financial mismanagement and corruption, it is evident that the drama surrounding Dolton's super mayor isn't going away anytime soon. Whether that happens or not is still up in the air.
Coming in, I mean, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some accountability.
Let's hear your thoughts. Do you believe that Henyard is simply a victim of political infighting, or is there anything more sinister at play here? For additional updates on this crazy situation, leave your thoughts in the comments section and remember to click the subscribe button.